It's your national forecast for Saturday, January 31st, the final day of the month. Let's see how things are shaping up temperature-wise off the start. Well, we are looking at that cold pattern continuing in the east, while some signs of some pretty mild winter weather in the west. Look at the 10-degree high for Calgary, 11 for Vancouver. Well, let's talk about what's on the way. Impactful snow with a storm brewing late Sunday into Monday for Atlantic Canada. Now, Nova Scotia and Newfoundland looking like they're going to be getting the worst of this system. But as you can see, heavy snowfall amounts will be grazing parts of New Brunswick and PEI as well. So for areas like Cape Breton, we're getting into that potentially over 30 centimeter range. Parts of Newfoundland, 30 to 40 centimeters expected. And again, when is this arriving? Looks like tomorrow evening. We'll see this heavy snowfall starting to push in alongside some gusty winds. So blizzard conditions possible for parts of Newfoundland and even looking into parts of the Maritimes as well. We have wind gusts for areas like Sydney, Nova Scotia, and forecast just shy of 90 kilometers per hour. So again, very dangerous conditions in terms of the travel implications. For Halifax, here's a look at our wind speeds, and even more intense for areas like St. John's. So this looks to be quite the impactful winter system late weekend into Monday, and for some, the snowfall even stretching into parts of Tuesday. But a much quieter affair for our Saturday afternoon, finishing off the month of January. Sunny skies for much of the Maritimes, parts of Newfoundland, especially western areas. A bit of sea effect snow to deal with before the big snowfall arrives. Now for Quebec, still feeling that cold pattern. Ontario, much of the same, even some cold warnings continuing in southern parts of the province. So it's chilly. That's kind of how January's been basically all the way through. Now in terms of more snowfall, are we seeing any of that? Well, looks like into our Sunday, northern parts of Ontario could welcome in some snow along that front. With that, also some breezy conditions, again, more so along that front, bringing the snow. So that could make for some reduced visibility along with that snowfall there. So in terms of temperatures, well, we're looking at February, not exactly rushing to give us those temperatures we'd like to see. Tuesday's not too bad. But all in all, after Groundhog Day on Monday, we're continuing with our cold pattern, it looks like. Going to have to be patient for some warmer temperatures. In the nation's capital, looking a lot of the same. And for Montreal, we see that sunny pattern to start off February and then cold and cloudy beyond that. Now for British Columbia, we're seeing these temperatures, the envy for many in Canada. We see the double-digit highs for our Saturday, but also the cloudy skies and the rain. That's going to be the story for the weekend, it looks like, for southern areas, especially with that rain really pushing into our Saturday, continuing through the weekend, and with that rainfall totals looking fairly impressive, especially for parts of Vancouver Island. Now, also going to be dealing with some gusty conditions, and it'll kind of be changing focus in terms of where is feeling those strongest gusts. But as you can see, pretty consistent central coastal areas, and at times southern parts of BC also feeling the strong wind. Let's talk about our 7-day forecast here. Look at the conditions on Thursday. In fact, many in Western Canada will be enjoying a pretty favorable look in February 5th. But how about for Vancouver? Mostly sunny and 14 degrees, although that's going to be the prize after a few cloudy days with some rain. Now for the Prairies, we'll look at a chance of some messy weather early on our Saturday into the late afternoon evening. It's more so snowfall that pushes into much of Manitoba, a bit of Saskatchewan still dealing with that snow later into our Saturday as well. Beyond that, not much active weather for the Prairies. We started off our Saturday with some freezing rain warnings, and this is sort of the areas impacted by that, but that's not expected to linger very deep into our Saturday. The snowfall, however, as we mentioned, that could stretch a bit longer into the weekend, and the windy conditions as well. That could be pairing up with the snow, making for some poor visibility and some travel considerations for you to keep in mind there. Temperature-wise, again, quite the contrast we've seen across the Prairies for the last little while, and that continues today. 10-degree high for Calgary, 12 for Lethbridge. Meanwhile, minus 10 degrees for Winnipeg. And with that wind as well, we have a pretty bitter wind chill, minus 20 with the feels like value. And a 7-day forecast for Calgary showing a fabulous Thursday, sunny skies and a high of 13. Just great temperatures all the way through, really. And for Winnipeg, we see one above freezing daytime high on Thursday.